Okay, hello. Welcome to my everyday spoken English course. This is basically a listening course for people who have been studying English for quite some time but feel a little frustrated when they go to the UK because they don't understand what native speakers are saying, especially when they're talking amongst themselves. So this course is very simple. It'll focus on some of the things we change when we speak casually. It'll focus on some of the sound changes and some word changes as well. It's in terms of language, it's very simple. The vocabulary is very simple. However, you may find at first, if you haven't lived in the UK, that you may find it quite difficult at first. But trust me, later on, I'm sure you'll find it easy. And that's the objective here. The format is very simple. I will simply read out a series of sentences. Each video will have a certain theme, and all you have to do is write down what you think I've said, and then I will go through a breakdown of what I'd said and what I changed. In terms of my own pronunciation, I guess it's a generic British. I will try to avoid anything that's too regional, so there'll be no strong accents or anything like that. Okay, so the first lesson today is on pronouns and possessive adjectives. So words like he, she, it, them, and his, her, and my. So if you'd like to get ready and get a pen and paper. Okay, so if you're ready, I'll begin. I will now read out 4 sentences again, so listen. I will say each one 3 or 4 times. Please listen carefully and write down what you think I'm saying. Okay, so number 1. Do you like ice cream? Do you like ice cream? Do you like ice cream? Number 2. Don't you like them? Don't you like them? Don't you like them? Don't you like them? Okay, number 3. I like him, but I don't like his brother. I like him, but I don't like his brother. I like him, but I don't like his brother. I like him, but I don't like his brother. Okay, and lastly, number 4. What does he want to do? 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 Okay, that's it. Maybe you found it easy, maybe you didn't, but let's go through now what I did. So here's a breakdown. Okay, number 1. Do you like ice cream? Okay, and what I actually said was J like ice cream. J like ice cream? J like ice cream. So do you may hear it different ways depending on how fast you're speaking, but it might be do you, do you, do you, J, or you might just hear y as well. So are you coming? Are you coming? Okay, number 2. Don't you like them? You may have found them quite difficult. You may have heard him instead. That's quite a common mistake. Don't you? Now, when there's a T before a U, often we'll say ch. So, don't you becomes don't you. Won't you becomes won't you. So, don't you like them? Them becomes them or even If you just say the word them on its own, it sounds a bit strange. We don't usually do that, so we push it together with another word. So I love them, hate them, saw them. If we're speaking quickly, we might just say I saw him, I love him, I hate him. Okay, now number 3. I like him, but I don't like his brother. I like him, but I don't like his brother. Again, him and his here both lose the letter H. I like him. I like him. But I don't like his brother. I like him, but I don't like his brother. So him, his, is. Again, we wouldn't say probably on its own. It's pushed together with the previous word. So like him, hate him, saw him, love him. Okay. Number 4. What does he want to do? What does he want to do? There's several changes here. Firstly, sometimes when we get 2 hard consonants together, T, T or TD, we'll cut one of them. In this case, the T. So what becomes what. We'll talk about losing the letter T in another lesson later. He becomes E again. What does he? What does he? Want to. You may hear want to. Again, there's a TT. You might just hear want to. Want to. So we'll cut one of the T's. Or you've probably heard it before somewhere in movies. Wanna. Wanna. I want to go. I want to see it. Okay. So hopefully you've learned a few things there. And now I'll read out 4 more sentences. Perhaps you'll find it easier now that you're aware of some of the changes I will make. So here we go again, if you're ready. So number 1. I saw her in her mother's shop. 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 Number 2. Would you want them to have them? 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 Okay, number 3. Did you see him in his car? 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 Okay, and lastly, number 4. This one's quite long, so get ready. Do you think he's going to come, or is he going to do his homework? Do you think he's going to come, or is he going to do his homework? Do you think he's going to come? Do you think he's going to come? Do you think he's going to come? Or is he going to do his homework? Or is he going to do his homework? Or is he going to do his homework? Do you think he's going to come, or is he going to do his homework? Okay, that's it. So let's go through again what I just did. So number 1, I saw her in her mother's shop. Again, her becomes er. I saw her in her mother's shop. The problem here can be that sometimes the 2 words pushed together can sound like another word. So in this case, in her can sound like the word inner, I-N-N-E-R. I saw her in her mother's shop. Number 2, would you want them to have them? Would you, so again, you becomes a j. Would you want them to have them? Would you want them to have them? Would you want them to have them? Did you see him in his car? Did you see him in his car? Did you see him in his car? So him again become. I forgot to remove the H. But him is im, his is. And lastly, do you think he is going to come, or is he going to do his homework? J. Do you think he's going to come, or is he gonna do his homework. Do you think he's going to come, or is he going to do his homework? Again, going to, you've probably heard this in movies, going to, go into, gonna. Okay, fantastic. So we learned a little bit about lazy English speakers, about how lazy, English speakers can be with certain words. Basically, if we have already established the person or object that we are discussing, then a pronoun or possessive adjective can become almost unnecessary. If I am asked where my friend John met his wife, my answer can easily disregard any emphasis on subject or object pronouns, etc. However, if the word is important in contrasting with a previous one, then we will pronounce the word more clearly and with greater emphasis. So, for example, if I'm asked where John met his wife, we know I'm talking about John, and we know we're talking about his wife, so I might just say, I think he met her at work. He and her would become less important, so I might just say, I think he met her at work. I think he met her at work. Notice how I changed the preposition at to ut, and this is the subject of the next lesson. So thank you very much, and I hope you learned something. See you next time.